We don't know the circumstances of why he wrote the song, but we do understand that it's a reason for everything that God does. So scholars say that he wrote it as he was preparing to move the Ark of the Covenant back to Jerusalem. And he wanted to make sure that he did it correctly, because the last time he did it wrong, somebody died. You know, something about going through some pain with God that should teach us to check ourselves before we do the same thing. Because he's not insane, looking for a different response. The last time I did this, God, this happened. So David is checking himself. And he asked God some questions in this psalm. And he's asking basically, God, what does integrity look like? A lot of people would just say, I have integrity. But do you know what integrity looks like? David asked the question that should be on the heart of every believer. Who may worship in your sanctuary, Lord? Who may enter into your presence on your holy hill? Because we are trained to think that God is looking for trash, that he take whatever we give him. There's no standard of excellence. There's no standard of holiness. God loves everybody. He does. He loves everybody. But his standard don't change. And so David understood that God loved him. But he understood that God had a holy standard that we must attain to. Because the Bible tells us that all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, and we have. And we will continue to come short until we get to him. The Bible said, and when we see him, we'll be like him. Because we shall see him face to face. And we become a reflection of who he is. But while we yet wait, while we labor, we need to start working on the principles of Christianity that we seem to forget when we walk out of the door. Amen. Christians act so unseemly in every area, wretched, I might say, as we lift our holy hands. But yet we don't have any character. We think that it's some magic that's going to come over us to make us stop doing the scandalous and the wretched things that we do. But really and truly, when you have a relationship with him, sometimes, I would venture to say all the times, conviction comes when you know what you did went quite right. Now you're still in a good place when conviction comes. You're in the worst place when you're dead wrong and you're amped up and you think. One thing I know about God is that he will check me quicker, because he comes for his legions. And if you possess the title in front of your name, won't be unto you to act ratchet and think that he's going to wink at your sin. I don't know about you, but the way I was raised is to whom much is given, much is required. And the way I raised my children. And people, Lysandra would even say that as she got wrong, I was harder on her than I was on them boys. You know why? She's my oldest.
Amen.
I gave her more. Still do. And I don't whisper about that. And it's no problem in my house. My son don't need nothing. He on a mission field. Sleeping in a dirty bed. He good. I was sacrificed for both of my children. But when I was a young mother who didn't have any common sense, I entrusted the raising of my children basically to the son. I said, I train them. She took them to the toilet. Right. And then she couldn't turn it off. She's just learning to turn it off now. Like Jarrell got to learn.
Amen.
Jarrell thinks she's TJ's mom.
Amen.
Well, Lysandra was the same way. And then if they did not do what she said, she felt compelled to hit them, to whoop them, to fuss at them, and cuss them out. Because I had entrusted that responsibility to her. So, because she held me down as a young mother, she does get more from me. And nobody has ever said anything. My son has never told me, you give her too much. I've never had a conversation. Y'all kids who come in there, measure what you give. I don't have that experience.
Amen.
Because I don't owe none of them nothing.
Amen.
Amen.
So whatever I give one of them, and whatever I give the other. And they're not haters. They're not haters. When Lucius totaled his car, he totaled his car. He didn't need to total somebody else.
Right.
I made up my mind, he's a missionary, I would buy him a car. Because he don't need money. A kid is like a Cadillac to him.
Right.
Amen.
I can't tell you how many times he thanked me. Now one time the Lysandra told me, he got a new car. I told him, I said, you want one? She never said that. She said, no, I'm good with this Mr. B shit. But some of y'all kids would have told y'all, you bought him one, I need one. The car don't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, King David, he's a grandchildren Jew. King David wanted to check himself. David didn't ask, how can I get to heaven? He wasn't looking for a list of to-dos, and this is what people give you when you come to church. Can't do this no more. Can't party no more. You can't. See, I came up under this. As soon as I got saved, they said, throw away your music. I threw it away. Boy, I'm so glad everything can be streamed now. Some great songs in antiquity. And Luther Vandross ain't sent nobody to hear.
Amen.
Say
Amen.
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 And if you ever ride with me, you'll find out I listen to it live.
Yes. Yes, Lord.
Real loud.
Yes.
I'll probably get the speakers replaced for the oil get changed. I gotta have it. I gotta be thumping. I gotta feel it in my chest. It got to come out and resonate out of my spirit.
Yes. Yes.
And so I really don't like riding with Yolanda because she needs it low like an old one. And so he's not asking these questions. We can't earn a place in heaven. Y'all know that, right?
Amen.
It's given to us by grace through faith. And so David asked the question, how should a follower of God live? In other words, how do we live a life of integrity and faithfulness? Integrity, the word means, or the soundness of moral character, is a problem today. Think about what we read in the scripture that Ebony read and what we've seen in our experience. Church leaders involved in sexual scandal, no integrity. Politicians who take bribes and commit indecent acts, no integrity.
Yes.
Employees who steal from their employer, I've done that. You're a thief in more than ways than stealing a pencil or ink people.
Right.
When you're sitting on them people's clock doing nothing,
Amen.
you're stealing time
Amen. Amen.
that you can't give them.
Amen.
No integrity. Students who cheat on their tests. Look straight ahead. No integrity. Athletes who gain an edge through drug use. No integrity. Who would want to win an Olympics so bad that they put a poison in their body? No integrity.
Amen.
Witnesses who lie in court. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? No integrity. Politicians who whisper, who start whisper campaigns that are designed to undermine another person's position. No integrity. People who claim to be Christians, but you can't trust them in business. No, and you know everybody, I'm real leery of businesses that have Christian names.
Amen. Amen.
Too blessed to be stressed hair salon.
Uh-oh.
And I go in there, ain't number hell going on in there. Who's too blessed? People you can't trust in business. This is what I live by. If I owe you $1, I'm going to give you $1.
Amen.
And if I forget to give you that dollar, I don't feel no type of way when you have to remind me.
Amen.
And for people who borrow money and and don't bring it back, or and act like you don't remember how much you borrowed, you too broke not to remember. Oh, I thought I borrowed $300. You borrowed $1,700.
Hey, God.
Can I get that?
Amen.
Say amen.
Amen.
No integrity. Co-workers who never arrive to work on time but leave early. No integrity. People who are prominent in the church but don't live their lives differently when they're away from church.
Amen.
That means you got an integrity problem. I ain't what I used to be. You're exactly what you used to be. You just learn how to talk church. Say amen.
Amen.
And so integrity is a problem, especially for Christians. There are moral people and that are not Christians. Jehovah's Witnesses, devout, are moral people. My brother's a Jehovah's Witness. He pays his bills on time. He ain't trying to do nobody. He just worshiping the wrong God. We worship the right God. And we don't have any integrity. We lie about our money. We lie about everything else. So before we allow our inconsistencies to destroy our integrity and our testimony before a lost and dying world, let me give you some points on how to have integrity, what real integrity looks like. Number one, godly lifestyle. After the opening question, who may worship in your sanctuary? We have gotten it confused, especially in the South. We think church is all-inclusive and for everybody. The Bible said that's not true.
Right.
Upon this rock I build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. That means that if you're not with the Lord, you're against the Lord, and you're part of the gates of hell. So when people come in, they say, we supposed to, how are we going to learn about the Lord if people don't lower the standards so they can come into church? They want the music to be a certain way. They want the seating to be a certain way, the lighting to be a certain way. They want to dress the way they want to. They want all of these things, but they're not even a part of the church yet.
All right.
Now, how many of y'all just let people come in your house and start barking all around?
Amen.
Not me. Matter of fact, if I feel the bark in you, I ain't going to let you in.
All right.
Because I run all this over here. It's for a godly lifestyle. You need to check your lifestyle. Those who lead a blameless life, that's what David said. And do what is right. Now when we talk about a blameless life, we're not talking about perfection. But I just told you, you got to have some conviction that come over you when you do wrong. And you can't keep repeating the wrong just because you get convicted of it. Say amen.
Amen.
You see people who are strung out on drugs or people who are lost in whatever addiction, you think that whatever you do is right. I remember being lost. I don't never forget it. I was running in and out of the jail. And then I started getting angry. The Lord checked me. He let you look at your own heart now. I used to get angry with people who didn't believe in the redemption of my life, even though I exhibited no redemption. Yeah, I'm in jail now, but we all sin and come short of the glory. We do. But you need a godly lifestyle.
Amen.
And you can't keep running in and out of jail
Amen.
because God is good. Say amen.
Amen.
David measures integrity by how we live in accordance to God's standards. There are your standards, there are man's standards, and there are God's standards. Yesterday, I went to Piggly Wiggly. I don't go to Piggly Wiggly. I just don't go there. It's always a spirit of oppression against me. Every time I go to Piggly Wiggly. So I go to Piggly Wiggly because it was close to my house and I needed to pick up a few things because I had made up my mind I want to cook me something for lunch next week. And this was my day to get it. So I'm in the store, and a lady, there's a man, not terribly attractive, not eye-opening, didn't even really notice him, but he was just staring at me. And every time, you know how you look out of your peripheral, and they still looking at you. I'm not from the South, y'all. I have manufactured Southern hospitality and manners. I don't have it. Not natural. So I can walk in a room, and I'm remembering to speak. Some of y'all who were raised in the South with good country training, y'all walking, hey y'all, that's not natural for me. And so people don't understand that when I walk, you didn't speak, and it's not that I'm being rude. I've lived longer as a heathen than I have saved. So the man was just looking at me, it was almost uncomfortable, so I simply spoke to him. I said, hi, how you doing? And he spoke back, he said, I'm fine, thank you for asking. Sounded very intelligent. I didn't think nothing else about that thing. As he paid for his food with his Georgia EBT. Okay. Now, the old school hustler to me, Jody made me notice the Georgia EBT. I wasn't pushing up on him, but the card is green. Almost neon. Swipe. So he got his food. I never saw his, because that's how much attention I was paying. I never saw his significant other. But by the time I got outside, and I was standing in front of the store because I'm old, and I couldn't remember, did I park my car to the left or did I park it to the right? That's all I was doing. So I looked to the left because as I've aged and all the time I'm running my family, I rebuke it. I just do things to keep my memory intact. I park in the same section. And if y'all can find me at Macy's if I'm over there. I'm only going to park on one side. And if all those spaces are full, I'm going home. So I've been all day looking for my car. So I'm looking to the left, and she walked right back up to me. She had on Mickey Mouse pajama thing. This woman was almost 40, if she wasn't over 40. Mickey Mouse pajama pants and dirty house shoes, a black tank top with a dirty white bra, and a bonnet over here. So she said, honey, eat mine. And I didn't understand what she was saying. And I said, what? I said, eat mine. I said, oh, okay. Eat it. Sweet. He paid for your food. So the EBT card. And the way my bills are set up, and I have a lot of, I pay rent in several places. I am so sorry. Please. I knew right then I was flying the mouth. I knew it. Conviction instantly hit me, but I was on the roll. I couldn't bring it down. I couldn't bring it down. I said, sweetie, I'm looking for one. Black card. She's looking at me like, do the EBT come in black? I don't know what she thought. And so she was just staring with a blank stare. And I said, have a good day. And I got in my car. Instantly, I was convicted. I said, I was over her head. And I really brought her down. Because you didn't even look clean. And not that I had a right to do it like that, because she didn't look clean. Not that I appreciated her comment either. But she might have been lost. She could stumble up in our church any day. That's that same woman who tried here. Then I'm going to have to invoke all kind of privilege. Somebody got to fight. This is too much. And so the Lord talks to us about a godly lifestyle. He said, those who lead blameless lives and do what is right. And that's a couplet. That means that it's a statement that basically in Hebrew literature, it's a statement that says the same thing twice. And anytime God uses a couplet, that means that what he said is what he did. You got to live blameless and do what's right. Not for any other reason than because it's right. Amen. Say amen. Amen. And so the Bible tells us a person of integrity is one who lives consistently with God's standard. Would God have done what I did yesterday? No, he would not have. And I don't have to go do all of my shenanigans and split hairs. Sometimes it's better to remain silent. Mm-hmm. Even the police give you that off. You have the right
To remain
to
silent.
remain silent. And if you give up that right,
Yeah.
God judges our words. Everything you say can
And will be used against you in a court of law.
And we all going to stand in the court of God's judgment. And so make your words few. Say amen.
Amen.
So I repented. The second thing. First thing we have to do is live a godly lifestyle. The second thing is godly speech. Speaking the truth from a sincere heart. That means refusing to dog somebody out with your mouth. You can speak the truth. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do that. Yolanda is having a mental health crisis. I'm not beating her down, but we need to be aware of whatever she's going through. It's speaking the truth in love. Say amen.
Amen.
Refusing to harm your neighbors or speak evil of your friends. Let me tell you, I've never seen this phenomenon until I came to Columbus, Georgia. I've never seen people that you have been in the trenches for and held them down who would hug you. I ain't never seen it.
Amen.
That's amazing. I might think something, you might say something I don't like, but you know what I'm going to remember? My mind going to make me remember. When I didn't have food, you fed me. When I didn't have nowhere to live, you let me stay in your house. I've never seen that. And it should not be named among Christians. Watch what you say about people who help you, because I'm going to tell you what other people do. They watch how you talk about people who help you too.
All right. All right. All right.
I don't care what you do. I don't. If you were down with me when I couldn't feed myself, the Lord checked me on that, because I remember, and she's watching it, Thelma Haynes. I was in this repetitive cycle of doing what I wanted to do. And this woman fed my children, and I couldn't remember many people ever did anything for me, but she fed my children. She got them haircuts. They were woolly heads. She got them haircuts. My kids didn't know that she did that for me. I'm in jail. Everybody else had cut me off. She was there for me. And now everybody had cut me off at that point. It was 1995. And she did everything she could do for me. She bought clothes for my kids. She did a lot. When I went back to jail in 1998, I felt some type of way. Because she wasn't there. Because see, a lot of times you do too much for a person.
All right. All right.
You do too much for a person. And the first time they say no, well, I can't do it. Then you say they done turned their back on me. I done seen it on Facebook. Somebody said about it. Turn your back on me. I've been holding you down for 10 years. But I hadn't been holding you down. I had enabled you to say that.
All right. All right.
I enabled you to say that. Sometimes you're supposed to give people a little help and keep it moving. You ain't supposed to take care of nobody for 10 years but the child that you bore. I wouldn't dare ask somebody for a loan 5 times in a 5-year period.
All right.
I just thug it out and do what I say. So Lord, let on my heart. Because sometimes God can't deal with you because of people in His way. You're enabling a person to continue in bad behavior. They'll never seek God. You know what? When you are a person who likes to steal and run in and out of jail, you're supposed to sit in jail and thug it out. When you're a person on drugs, you're supposed to have nothing. There's no such thing as a prosperous drug addict. Who does that? When you have children, continuously have children out of wedlock, you're supposed to stroke. Everybody is not supposed to buy them Christmas toys every year. You knew they needed Christmas, but who children are gone?
Amen.
What you need to do is give them a reality check. You know what? It's too many of y'all. Shouldn't have had all I should have used some birth control. My mama told her I should have used some birth control. So don't think all your dreams gonna come true.
Right.
Your mama won't work, your daddy won't work, and I'm not going to be your God.
Amen.
Now, I'm helping you grandmothers who think that your job is to hold down your children who doing nothing. That's not the will of God concerning them. Why would they get a job?
You know,
My mother would give my children didn't grow up with a grandparent. This is why I got to live. I think grandparents are supposed to do the extra. I believe it.
Amen.
But God gave you a season to raise children, not your grandchildren.
Amen.
Not unless your child dies.
Amen.
Sorry does not change the will of God concerning it. That means the baby going to get in the trenches. That's all it means. And they're probably going to be a stronger and a better intercessor because of it.
Amen. Amen.
That's why we don't have children who can pray. Because here come grandmama making their life perfect. Don't make their life perfect.
Amen.
He dirty. Did anybody ever die from dirt?
Amen.
Say amen.
Amen.
So godly speech. The negative side is a person of integrity, does not spread rumors, do not lie, do not dog out their help. You can learn a great deal from a person by what they say. People watch what you say. You talking about her, she helped you? I ain't gonna fool with you.
Amen. Amen.
I'm not gonna fool with you. So we got a godly lifestyle, godly speech. And in your godly speech, I'm gonna give you this. Chuck Swindoll made this example. He said there's several gates to check your own speech. You'll know if you should say it. Number one, is it confidential? If it's confidential, don't tell nobody. You shouldn't say it.
Amen.
Don't tell them, yeah, I told you. You shouldn't say it. If it's a secret, don't repeat it. Amen?
Amen.
If it's a secret, don't repeat it. Because when you tell me something, I'm subject to post it. So if it's a secret, don't repeat it. You don't want nobody to know you said it, then don't say it. Number two, the second gate, is it true? You shouldn't spread everything you hear. You should investigate what you hear.
Amen. Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
Every time a young woman gained 2 pounds, we're going to make them pregnant. She's pregnant. She's fat. She's just fat. It's okay. Investigate what you spread. Number three, is it necessary? Because we're judged by every word that come out of our mouth. We need to make sure that what we say, is it necessary? Is it kind? Does it tear down or do it build up? Does it serve as a wholesome purpose? And if you ever have to say, I shouldn't have said that. Well, I shouldn't say this, but Lord forgive me. No, there ain't no Lord forgive me, and I'm going to say what I want to say. Lord forgive me, but she ugly. No, you shouldn't have said that. Say amen. Forgive me, Lord. You're taking the grace of God for cheap. And this is a person of integrity. The next value I want you to have is godly values. Read verse 4, Evan.
Who despises a vile man, but honors those who fear the Lord, who keeps his oath even when it hurts.
People of integrity, of godly integrity, are those who hate what God hates and love what he loves. I don't go into theological debates with anybody about anything. I tell people that I earned my doctorate. I did. And so if you want to debate, you need to find somebody in every beauty, barber, or nail shop. They'll debate with you. If you want some information, holler at them. I can tell you what thus says the Lord, and then you can decide if you're going to do it or if you're not going to do it. But if you're not going to do it, it ain't going to change what he said.
Amen.
Say amen. Amen. These people, I had some young ladies working in the prison. I realized I ain't at summer camp. They do the most in the prison. No, absolutely. But even doing the most, they are disrespectful of clergy. So I made up my mind. I said, I'm going to fall up in there next week. Collar up. Clergy collar, black suit. I'm going to do that for them. Because I need you to understand that you don't cuss in front of the Episcopal priests when they come to you. You stand for the warden when he comes. If the commissioner comes from Forsyth Y'all will stand at y'all door 4 hours if that's what they call it.
Amen. Right.
But I represent God. And you don't have to respect me, but you're going to respect the office that I hold.
Amen. Amen.
Because if we don't stand for something, we fall. I need you to give me that respect. And you know what? I don't expect everybody to be perfect. I cuss worse than anybody in this room. But at least I would say, chap, doc, my bad. I'm working on it. At least don't say 7 more cuss words out there.
Amen. Amen.
There's something wrong with that. When we don't respect, we respect it. When the police pull your car over, you don't get out saying, yada, yada, yada. You don't do that. But you're a us in front of the battle.
Amen.
You can hold it. You choose not to control. Say amen.
Amen.
Godly values. People with godly values are guarding what they watch and read and what they say. When I get in my car, I have a playlist in my car, on my phone, and I stream it through my car. And like I told you, I am not anti-secular music, but I gotta listen to the words. You know, I don't listen to ratchet music only because I'm not ratchet. Amen.
Amen.
If you like ratchet music, that's you and God. Y'all talk about it. So when I get in my car, that's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear all your banging the head music and all your profanity. I don't want to hear that. So I let my niece drive my car. And her playlist is different from mine.
Oh, yes.
Much different. So she forgot herself and she came back. I told her to come get something. Bring me something last time. She had my car. She was glad to be driving. It's better than mine. But she in the car. And I'm looking in the glove compartment trying to find what I'm looking for. And the music. She reached over me. Almost hit me in there, auntie, I'm going to tell you. Do that. Because I don't want to hear that.
Amen.
If you drive my car, I don't care what station you listen to in there. When I get back in there, have it on the right station.
Amen.
Matter of fact, when you pull back up in there, have your hands lifted.
Amen.
Tell them you love them. Because of the anointing on my life. Respect that. I ask for more than the president asked for.
Amen.
I represent God. Say amen. So godly values. A few years ago in Canada, the Canadian government studied the characteristics of today's people. And one of the things that they discovered about our youth is that they have no healing. And this is harder for most of us to understand because we have children. But when you don't have, they idolize drug dealers. Somebody who ain't working a decent job, ain't never paid the government $5 worth of taxes, but they balling their boss on their shirt. And so we idolize evil, and we disrespect what God puts in place. And so I need us to all check our godly values. I like to think that I'm not over-exaggerating, but I want you to check your values. The next value is trustworthy. And they keep their promises, even when it hurts. When you operate in integrity, there's two parts to this simple statement. Not only does a person of integrity do what they say they're going to do, they'll do it if it costs them. If I owe you some money, if I got to go to the pawn shop, that ain't your business.
Amen.
I ain't going to come back and bring you your money 6 weeks later and say, I had to go to the pawn shop. That's your business.
Amen.
But what I'm going to do is, if I had to bring it back 6 weeks later, I'm going to say, here's an extra 100 because I took too long.
Amen.
That's my street sense.
Amen.
Whatever you say you're going to do, if it has to cost you to do it, you do that.
Amen.
You don't bring Christians, men and women of integrity. We are not supposed to have more excuses than the free, lost world. Whatever you say you're going to do that. Make your words few. Because one thing I know about the people that I've been around, I've engaged, they'll hold my feet to the fire. Doc, you said you was going to do this, and if I didn't do it, it was an oversight. But they'll tell me they're going to do something else. They don't even time.
Amen.
You don't even give God nothing. But think the church supposed to have something for you and God that you don't pay. Say amen.
Amen.
Whatever you say you're going to do, you should be a person of integrity. When I went to Bible college, and I give you an example so you can identify. I was so prompt when I went to work, went to school, because I was so excited that God would even use me in academia, that I went, and she's on my page today, she was my English teacher. I was on time I was the first person in class and the last person to leave for all of my academic journey. One day, a train was stuck on the track and it caught a fire under it. So they had to reroute traffic and I was late. When I walked in the classroom, they were praying for me.
Amen.
They said, Lord, I don't know what happened to her because she comes here on time. Whatever you say you're going to do that. I told my trainer, I said, I can't work out an hour. My body is physically fatigued. I couldn't understand why I was so tired. I could barely make it through workout. So I told her, I said, I'm going to come 15 to 20 minutes later. She's the trainer, so she came up with that idea. She said, you're going to work out on Saturday and Sunday because your body is tired. My body's been compromised. And y'all know I don't know how to do a little, I do too much. So I've been practicing my rest. When I worked out yesterday, I killed myself. Only because my body was stressed.
Amen.
Whatever you say you're going to do, time out for this life. Let a Christian, you're supposed to be able to bank on. This is why people don't believe it. You used to could get in trouble on your job or get in trouble at school and bring your pastor or bring a church leader, and they forgave your work with you. Now you bring a church leader, they lie more than you do. Let your yes be yes. Be trustworthy. We see this kind of integrity in a person who fulfills their contracts, even if the cost overruns what you want to pay. You see somebody pay for a car and then talk about they in an upside down loan. You was in that upside down loan. You got the car. You owe them. I don't care if you paid $20,000 more. You knew that.
Amen.
When you had that 487 credit score. You knew that. The customer who pays their bill when work is completed than before. This mindset of asking for an advance is not of God. Because you could die. Your family is not going to return that money. You could be in a car accident and be brain dead, and your family is not going to return that money. You need to give us this day our daily bread. And if you can't, if as an employer, and I know what it feels like when money don't work, if nobody could ever tell me, they called me on payday, and I told them, oh, I need 3 more days. If I needed 3 more days, I'm going to tell you that so you can arrange that ahead of time.
Amen.
That's integrity. Do what you say you're going to do. You shouldn't, as a Christian, as a man or woman of God of integrity, you shouldn't always look for the hookup and the low. Every time you go to a Christian business, you want them to give you what Walmart ain't going to give you. Say, man, they got it. They ain't giving it to you. The person who shows up to do a job that they agreed to, even though you had a better offer, that's integrity. The person who remains faithful to their spouse, even when you have problems. When a man and woman have a problem, that don't give you the right to sleep around. We going through. He ain't faithful. Who are you faithful to, him or God? Say amen.
Amen.
You don't get you a boot thing and a side piece. You don't do that. Not as a man or a woman of God. We don't know how to go through nothing. We don't know how to trust God. Trust God to fix him. I ain't sleeping with nobody. If we're going to get a divorce, we'll be divorced before I move on to the next person. Amen. Say amen. Amen. A person of integrity. Do not tell their children what they're going to do. and don't do it. If you profess to be a follower of Christ, you carry through with the choices you make in life. If you made a choice to have unprotected sex, what happens with that is a baby. Once the baby get here, you don't abort the baby, nor do you abort your assignment as that baby's mama or father. Well, I just want to live. You live it. You living with this baby. And for you parents who allow children to drop their kids off on you while they go and find themselves. Now find yourself with the baby. So that y'all both be at the found place together. Amen.
Amen.
One thing I watched little Debbie back there with this little baby. Little Debbie is stressed out about the little baby. Because the little baby cries a lot. But every time you see little Debbie, Bryson is strapped to her like a cheap suit. Because little Bryson is Debbie's responsibility. Now, if Debbie gets a break, she's not even going to be comfortable. She thinks because she's bonding with that baby, whether she knows it or not, because she's used to walking around with him on her body. So when she goes somewhere, she don't know yet. She's going to worry somebody on the phone. What are you doing? And then Debbie's like I was. When I had my first baby, I had a hollering baby. And my greatest fear of having a hollering baby was that somebody was going to kill her if I left her. That was my fear. That better be yours too. Because the shaking baby syndrome is real. Amen. So I already knew there was a possibility that she could be DOA, so I just made sure that I just changed my life to accommodate her. The next thing that integrity does, and the part we don't like to talk about, is it handle money in a godly manner. It talks about lending money with interest, and it don't say you can't have interest on money. It's that you're not supposed to take advantage of poor people. And they're not talking about your fellow men. They're really talking about banks and loan companies that charge you. If you're a Christian and run those types of businesses, you can't bribe and lie about the innocence. How we use our money reveals a great deal about our heart. You know, you don't never give God nothing, but all you do is take care of you. It reveals something about you. You never give anybody less fortunate than you anything. You never donate to anything. You need a receipt for every dollar that you give unto the Lord. Something's wrong with that picture. Are you ever the first one to give and don't expect anything back in return? Somebody gave to my inmates, and this is what they told me when they gave it to me, and I turned around and said, no, I just need them to write a letter thanking me for their indigent supply. Then I got to supply them paper and pen. They indigent.
Amen.
You need too much.
Amen.
I was told that. So make sure that your giving is as unto God. Handle money in a godly manner. Money can be used in an evil way. Listen at me. To destroy another person's business. To buy votes in favor. To keep someone helpless and dependent. And that's why God rebuked me. Keep giving people the same thing over and over. You keep them helpless and dependent. If you have to get it out the mud, you'll figure it out. But if you borrow $10 this month, don't come back next month with $10. I'm making you dependent. When I didn't have, as a woman of God, I've never been a borrower. Never been, when I asked anybody, because I was a thief, I was too proud, I couldn't ask anybody. And everybody will live to need something from somebody. But you make people dependent. You start talking to them any kind of way when they catch them an attitude.
Amen.
And they got your money and they fight. That's your fault. You already know they prone to an attitude. Why you giving somebody their rent money 3 months in a row? You paid their light bill 4 times this year. You're making them dependent. God's not looking at them. God's looking at you. That's irresponsible, and that's a lack of integrity. Because deep down in your soul, whether you know it or not, whether you can identify it or not, it's something you need. When you give It's the reason why banks give you qualifications to get your money, to give you money. All you getting is nothing. You're getting control in a person's life when they owe you, because a borrower is a slave to the limit. So you take that internally. Yeah, they didn't talk to slaves now. Get over here. And I used to think it was a matter of, I've held you down. It's a law of reciprocity, a reciprocation. It's not. God didn't create you to take care of it. Be careful how you handle your money. You can use money to put someone, even an organization, in your debt. And I learned that at Apex. When I had the $200, anybody who know me, especially Tina who worked there, they can tell you, I didn't spend the $200 on me. Y'all didn't buy no purse, shoes, nothing. Didn't pay no bills at the house. The $200 was to take, we were in an old building. And the building, because it was old, some I didn't take into consideration, the electric bill was over the top in the summertime because running the air conditioner. So I thought the people was on board with the vision. I'm expressing a vision. If y'all could just, when you get a big check, and they would get $5,000 check, donate $200, and we called it a technology. Well, they gave her $200, and then the trash started getting talked. I done gave her $200. I know I ain't getting no seat. But you're doing deed work.
That's right. Amen.
So I realized that the money they gave wasn't even heartfelt. They gave their money to control me. You can't control me with $200. When I cut that $200 off, 3 people out of Apex continued to bring me $200. And I told them, I said, you don't have to bring that. They said, no, Doc, I believe in what you're doing. They thought they still did and graduated.
Amen.
But the mass thought they was doing something for me. I'm trying to keep the building warm you in when you over there. Or keep it cool. You coming in, they have the fan, they call it North Carolina.
Bless you.
Say amen.
Amen.
And so you don't use money to manipulate. You don't use money to diminish another person's value and make them feel less than because they don't have enough money. And that's what I did yesterday. Because the lady had on dirty clothes, dirty underwear. How dare you think I want you scrub me? That was a bad attitude. I should have stood there if I even thought to engage her and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know your husband. I would call him husband. I know it's a book. I didn't know your husband. If I was looking at him, please forgive me and get in my car. Some of y'all think right now, why would you do that? Because that's the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. Say amen.
Amen.
And David ends this song. He ends the song. If I don't tell you the right thing to do, it ain't right. With a promise. David ends the song with a declaration that should make us take notice. He says, such people shall stand firm forever. You're not going anywhere on this Christian journey until you get some integrity. David does not say that people who live with integrity and godly character would not have problems. He said you'll stand firm even in the midst of your problems, Phil. And so today I just came to ask you, little man, examine himself. Now when I ask you, do you really have godly integrity? I know everybody in here was thinking, I sure do, but now that you've heard the word, we have to check our integrity. Let me tell you, however, the person of integrity don't come without some disadvantages. The person of integrity can live without regret. You have disadvantages, but you have advantages. You can live without regret. See, I regretted what I said to that young lady yesterday because I could have destroyed her. I should have just had my shirt on and say Dr. Anderson, educated. Same arrogance. You got to know when you're being arrogant. Say amen.
Amen.
A person of integrity will know God's peace. See, if it was the right thing to do, I wouldn't have second thought. I knew it was right. But I did it anyway. And that don't come without consequences. A person of integrity will have a clear path to follow. Will be respected by the world, even those who may resent you. I would rather you respect me and not like me than like me and not respect me. Say amen.
Amen.
Person of integrity will become a person that others go to when they face a crisis. And people do go to me when they face a crisis. So I have to operate at a higher level. I can't get away with what I got away with when I was wearing ankle chains and booty shorts. Can't get away with what I got away with when I didn't know the Lord. Or when I was a neophyte and an infant in the things of God. Now because I can righteously divide the word of truth. To whom much is given. From him, much is required. Person of integrity will be used by God to communicate a life-changing message. And a message of life and grace. This is why so many doors you open, so many ways you made, so many times you did. He's been better than good to you. And the only reason he's been good because he expects more from me than he expects from somebody who ain't rolled over and cracked the Bible and looked in his face, ain't got at the door of a church. You can't do what a heathen does because you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of the nutting up and going ham, all of the amped up and saying, I'm saved, we brought God to an open shame. And today he said, when you hear my voice, harden not your heart. Today is your day to get it right. Every head back. God